anybody here? Hello, hey, someone's here. Welcome. Did you bring a saxophone, by the way? I'm really in need. Save as, sorry. Episode 12. We just did a podcast earlier. We recorded it together. You might have been there. And then I was editing things and I was like, let's do a live and talk about sax magic. I don't have a saxophone, so if anybody has one and has 1,000 followers and can go live, I invite you to go live with me right now with your saxophone. Man, that would be so good. What did I title this episode? And was anybody there while we were recording? Intelligence of the body. Would you like some understanding of metaphor? I'll take it. What metaphor? You'll play guitar live? Saxophone. But we can totally go live and vibe. I tried to play guitar with my buddy Brian, like at the same time, and there was way too much lag. It's kind of a bummer. All right, I'm gonna be editing this podcast episode while casually engaging in conversation. At least that's how it's going down in my mind. So what's going on in your world, guys? Anybody feeling anything? Daniel, the Messiah. Your name is Daniel. And if you have a saxophone, and we'll go live and play saxophone music for us right now, I'll do magic. But if you don't have a saxophone, dude, that's gonna let a lot of people down. You tell me the truth. Might just go live anyway. All right, save that as, this episode we recorded is called The Intelligence of the Body. And I thought it was pretty good. Was anybody there when we were recording? Why am I having a hard time with that? You could do air sax? Maybe I could do air sax. I gotta get a saxophone. I've never really played one. They got a little wood thing, a woodwind, a little buzzer. Does anybody here play sax? Because we're really needing some. Really, from Zimbabwe? There's no way I'm gonna get any work done with people from Zimbabwe here. I'm fascinated. Tell me about Zimbabwe. You may hear sounds in the background. Ohio, you.
Hey, this is Daniel, and welcome to Life is a Thing.
Are you really from Nicaragua? Don't you guys lie to me. You can't do that to me, Ohio. I was like, Zimbabwe? I really want to hear like what's going on. You slippery. No español? Okay, Nicaragua. I've known a few Nicaraguans, which were pretty cool. I'm gonna follow you guys. That's all I know. From Texas, okay. Texas is cool. Texas, everything's bigger there. I had a theory when I was a kid. My sister and I worked it up, doing these road trips with the parents. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? This was a legit theory I'm still running with. But it's like colossally bigger. But it's like right when you cross the border into Texas, you become colossally bigger. So relative to outside of Texas, where it's not bigger, when you get inside of the bounds that is Texas, then you become colossally bigger. Does that seem like, would that hold up? Is that a good theory, guys? Because everything's bigger in Texas? Cincinnati. Okay, Cincinnati. Where do you guys 2 different ones? Slippery bull. Okay, Ukraine. I actually really love Ukraine. I love it. It's like one of my favorite places I've ever been. My cousin lived in Nezhin. It's outside of Kiev. I once took a train. I didn't have a visa to get in, right? They frown upon that when you're trying to get in. So I took a night train from southern Poland, like middle of the night one, and they have to change. This is the thing about people. They got to change rail tracks. Like, actually has to lift the car off of the tracks and put it onto different tracks from when you go from different parts of Europe to other parts where it was not the Czech Republic, the Soviet Union. So they had different size railroad because the Soviet Union was like, we're going to do it our way. So you got to change in the middle of the night. So I planned to go through a station like that where they'd be checking passports. So I figured it would just be chaotic. And sure enough, it was chaotic. And it was like 1 a.m. and I was just like, what's happening? You know, where am I? Luckily, there was a real nice Canadian guy there. He was like, just play it cool. And we just schmoozed our way past. They stamped my passport, didn't have a visa, and they let me in. And then I went and surprised my cousin in Nezhin, and it was great. It was a good one. I'm not Flea. No. I'm sorry. All your exes live in Texas, and they're colossally huge. Not like, they're just Texas size, you know? Misery. What's up? Poland. Okay, so we got a toss up here, guys. God, I really was going to do some editing on this podcast episode. I'm going to do this. But I love Poland. I love it. The soups. Oh my gosh. There are so many different varieties of soups in Poland. Like, there are more varieties of soups than there are bushes. And there's a lot of bushes in Poland. It's a very beautiful woodland-like country. Especially in southern Poland, like down by Krakow. Are you guys feeling me on this? It's a great place to be. And the Poles are so nice. Every single Pole I met was just like the coolest. They definitely know how to vibe. I got that down. All right, London, what's up? From Israel. Tell me what's that like? I assume there's like a lot of contrast because all we see is like the bullshit on the news, right? So there's probably a lot of like beauty with some like little hellish spots here and there. What's that like? Tell me about it. Southern Poland, right? Southern Poland is fantastic. Like down by Krakow. I remember this guy Wojtek, right? He was driving us. He was a madman. You know how they drive down there on those little skinny roads? They got these teeny cars in Poland. Like, smallest cars you've ever seen. Because they got the smallest fucking roads down in southern Poland, these little windy things, something out of a fairy tale. And everybody's going faster than cars are supposed to go. And they'll pass 3 at a time. There'll be 2 cars coming one way. This is like a 1-lane road, right? And there's little babushkas in the bushes collecting mushrooms. And they'll pass at 1,000 miles an hour, which is a lot in kilometers. All at the same time. And at the same time, they like wave at each other and everybody's chill. It was some crazy shit in Poland. Like, you haven't seen things until you've driven around southern Poland with the madman. Whew. Hello, Seahorse Forever. Fiat 500. Hold on, Polish friends. Just give me just a second. I can't believe I'm about to show you this. This is like private information. This is like reading my diary, okay? I'm gonna give you a little peek, but just be cool. I'm good. Okay, what'd you guys say? Netherlands. God, that sounds like a great place to go. In Austria. Okay, we're talking about the Fiat 500. This is how much I love Poland. I have some t-shirts. This is my beloved pile of t-shirts, which I showed my kids, and I'm really proud to say Aiden claimed over half. He was like, these are fucking awesome. He totally wears my old t-shirts. They got like laser cats on them and stuff. Anyway, he didn't like any of my Poland ones, but you ready for this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know you're loving this. It says the Male, how do you say that? The Male Fiat, the Polish Cadillac, and it says actual size. Is that not the best t-shirt ever? I used to slay with this thing. And then, look at this, right here. From our Polish friends. Polska. I'd rock it. It was like such a great band t-shirt. Just like this funky black t-shirt. Anyway, you don't get to see the rest of these. They're private. Where are we at? Austria. I'm sure you always get that Dumb and Dumber line. I'm not going to do it. West of Ireland. That's a place I haven't been. Portugal, I haven't been either. I'd like to go to both of these places. Okay, northern Canada. As if Canada wasn't already kind of northern. How northern do you got to be? Are you really cold right now? Are you a Mountie? Do you have a horse? Tell me about it. I'm really curious. Maluk? Okay, so you said this. Where is that? I'm gonna look this up. Is that in Germany? Maluch. Oh, the Fiat Maluk. I'm sorry. God, I love that car so much. I really, on the one trip I was there, I was working with this camp, and we did all these camps all around Poland. And we had these huge bags full of camp stuff, like balls and things, like toys and like all this great camp equipment. And we were taking trains, and I was like, we're spending so much on seats on trains for these huge ass bags. It was like 3 of us carrying all these bags. I was like, I should just buy one of those little Fiats. Just rip that thing around. Like, fuck these trains. I want to drive like Wojtek through the forest and this wild little, oh, could you imagine? That'd have been so fun. Luckily, I used the budget a little better than that. We just stuck with the trains. So chill. A lot of train parties in nature when we have more time, everyone becomes one. Yeah. Okay. So you guys know how to like chill. You guys know how to like let it down and chill. And then when it gets all gnarly, you know what to do. I'm tracking with that. Berlin, what's up? Polska, my neighbor. Wish was fun. Hey, Lithuania. I've not been to Lithuania, but I'd love to do more traveling all around in those little countries. They're so fun. There's so much like everything's. There's so many similarities, but then it's like so distinctly different, and ooh, I love them. Yeah, the Fiat Maluk, the little ones. God, those cars. My favorite snacks. I'm a sucker for salt and vinegar potato chips. Oh, those things touch me, you know? You get the idea. Lithuania is beautiful. Oh man, no, I really want to go to Lithuania. I wish I had a horse. What? By the mountains. Hold on. I don't even know how to think about negative 35 degrees Celsius. I don't know how to imagine that. I don't know who I am right now trying to feel that feeling. Just give me a second. I feel like I need to go outside. Man, that sounds really cold. Can you start posting daily podcasts? Daily podcasts. I have to balance it out with making money because those don't really make money. But I love sharing all the stuff. So speaking of making money, if any of you need to work through emotional things, all the shadow work and bullshit, all the scary stuff, I love doing that. I'll walk you right through it. Just hit me up on the website thing. Okay, it was my negative 55 earlier in the month. How do you live in that? Do you not, do things work? Is everything just, I imagine everything's like you're in a space movie when you're in the frozen thing. And you wake up, and you're like, it's real dramatic. Is it like that? Oh, that seems horrible. God, I'm cringing. I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but that's cold as shit. That's like the witch's tit. Okay, tips for how to sorry. Oh, okay. Tips for how to get over someone who wasn't truly yours. I'm sorry. Pardon me while I shift gears. No one's ever truly yours, except for you. You're truly yours. All the feelings that you may feel of somebody completing you are just really nice feelings that you got confused as being your own, right? So you can create your own feelings of wholeness when you have that separation and that feeling. Sit with your yucky feels and ask yourself why you would feel that way. All right, let's get back to something serious here. Yeah, something's made to withstand the weather. I can't even think about that weather, let alone withstand it. Okay, you're going through your first breakup. This is serious. I'm in it. Do you have any advice? All right. Did you hear the last one I just spit out? It's kind of painful, to work through the stuff about breakups because it's always a space. It's like we've double dipped in the bullshit. Okay, so just track with me. We've felt a new feeling in ourselves. This person lights something up in me. There's a new, everything smells different, They teach you something about yourself. And we fall in love with the feeling that they taught us. That is a feeling from within that you created. And then we demand them to give us that feeling again instead of continuing to practice it. So when you go through the breakup, it really gets confusing. Who's in charge of what feeling? And then don't worry, that's confusing the rest of your life. Have no fear. But it just is kind of messy, So you gotta learn when those spaces are open and they hurt. That's when you sit with your pain and you go, okay, I'm gonna let this hurt a little bit. This sucks. I don't like this at all, I'm really not having a good time. But that's okay. It's cool. Just having a feeling. And you allow yourself to have your feeling. And you'll notice it pass through, especially when you breathe. It just kind of... And then you can think a little clearer and go, why was I having that feeling? Why would I feel that way about me as this whole complete person? So, breakups are hard, but you can learn some cool stuff in the process, especially if you get good at jumping in that pain portal and asking yourself some nice questions. That would be my advice. That goes for the rest of you too. Do that with all your stuff that hurts. Everyone has heat backup. Good, because I don't think if you guys didn't, I think we'd probably not be having this conversation right now because you would be in that frozen little cocoon thing we were talking about. I was tripping when it dropped down to 60 today at work. Whoa. Yo, 60. Ooh. Oh. Ow. I'm sorry. That's no more little shorts, Okay. Yeah, you did create that feeling, not them. But they were the teacher that showed you, you can have this feeling. And now you know. That's yours. Ding. Haha. Yay. You can create that feeling within yourself. You know, and you just get better at having your own, like, rad energy of within. And then you, like, repel all the bullshit naturally, and you attract all the good shit. It's great. You should try it. Okay. Do you believe people who say they're asexual, or do you think that's just a trauma response? That's a really good question. I don't really get in a lot of, like, conversations down on that level. It's kind of like, if you want to be asexual, that's cool. Like, it doesn't matter anything to me. But I think a lot of the times we run from some kind of nature, like, because maybe there's some trauma in that nature, you know? And it's just scary to be there. So I think there's just a little bit of both, maybe. But some people are everybody's different, how they love and how they give love and receive love and how they feel it. And a lot of it's conditioning, but what isn't? Like, your genetics are conditioning. The way you feel, the same way your grandparents felt. That gets passed down with your nose, you know? So there's, like, ways to look at it, you know? You can look at that little narrow band, or you can kind of look at the bigger thing. I kind of let people just do their thing. Oh man, X wants to be friends with benefit. That's a bad idea. I still love her. Okay, now, there's definitely a thing of oxytocin bonding that happens when you get all freaky. And you feel that in the field. Like, you feel it. You feel connected, you know? That's the whole thing. So, you just playing with fire. I mean, let's be real. Open those feelings up, and then those feelings, all that oxytocin clouds your better judgment, which is your, like, kind of natural state of feeling, like allowing yourself to feel poorly. It's kind of like having to make a business decision and then taking a drink to calm your nerves, and you're, like, a little bit calmer, but maybe you're not going to make the best decision, you know? So you're, like, literally drugging yourself with this person. So you just got to watch that. And understand that you're not going to be making very clear decisions if you're drugging yourself in the process. Maybe look at it like that. But that's a tough one, because, you know, you liked them in the first place. They were probably hot. And you totally want to bang, but, you know, you got to, like, you learn by doing stuff. You know, you hurt yourself enough times trying different things. You'll learn. Okay. You are welcome. And I'm sorry about the first breakup thing. That's just, like, nobody likes it. It's not like it's something you have to like. It's just an experience of life, you know? You just kind of do your thing. Thank you for the beautiful open mind. User 4920329336671. Can you please get a name so I can... I'm not going to remember that. I can remember some of these other ones, especially if they got a slightly unique avatar. Okay, does it matter if it's a trauma response or what you want to be or what you want to be? Yeah. I think everything's like a range of trauma response. You know, it's just life. You know? Daniel, how do you know someone is right for you? Oh, that's such a tough one. Everybody drink some water. Take care of yourselves. I really was going to edit this podcast episode, and then we were talking about Poland and little fiats, and now we're talking about all this shit. Did anyone bring a sax? Because that's really what's going on here, some sax magic. Or I was hoping somebody would have a sax and over 1,000 followers so they could go live and serenade me while I did this work I was supposed to be doing. Okay. How do you know someone's right for you? That's, like I said, a tough one. Because you're the one that's right for you. Okay, this is the hard one to get. You're always the one that's right for you at the end of the day. Like, you're always the one that completes you. Everybody else is this, like, reflection and a teacher and a guru. Here's a new way to feel. I feel this new way. Still within self. And so then as you fill all that with exactly who you fucking are as a person, you're only attracting people that are the same vibe. And then you don't have people that are codependent and needy of each other. I demand you fulfill this, and I demand you fulfill that, and all that does is close each other off and cause distance, and it explodes. So you become complete and whole in yourself. And then when you attract that same kind of energy, it's like, hey, you want to go be complete and fucking whole together? And that's when life gets serious. And what I mean by serious is you just don't take it seriously. You just let it happen. You don't get all worked up about it, all right? So that's how you know if someone's right for you. Just chill, all right? Okay, what are we talking about? Anything cool? Thank you for the mic and the present and the steer clear and the roses. I feel showered in roses right now. Look at this. Just feels so pretty. Okay. Good books to read. How to get what you're at in life right now. Oh man. Good books. There's a lot of good books out there. I mean, really, there's a shit ton of them. I would just hit Amazon, like, probably just search what you're thinking about, and then they'll have a book recommended and hit the reviews, and then some other people think the same way. And you gotta crash a bunch. You don't gotta, but that's how it worked for me. Where I was just like doing my thing, it's just like riding crashes. I mean, I'm talking about crashes, all the crashes, like all the emotional crashes, all the attachment, actual physical, bodily into the asphalt crashes kind of thing, like all the crashes. You gotta just go smashing about. And every time you like hit that asphalt, whether that be the actual asphalt, removing so much skin, just breaking things and causing a lot of pain, or the proverbial asphalt of life, it just, every time you hit it, it just teaches you something new. Like, don't do that thing. It got you here, right in this asphalt. It fucking sucks. So, books are good too. Just keep a balance. Okay, make me believe in myself. Thank you so much. You've given me a warming sensation right in here. I want you to know that. Thanks. Will there be a new podcast episode? I just recorded one today. And actually what I was going to do here, hoping somebody had a saxophone, you guys. This is the internet. You'd think someone had a saxophone and had 1,000 followers, so you could serenade me while I put the podcast episode together so it would upload to the magical land of the cloud, and you guys could all enjoy it, because it was pretty good. It was a good one. You're going to miss it if you don't let me work. Okay. So yeah, that's coming real soon here. Detroit, and it's 20 degrees. Okay. 20 degrees seems significantly warmer than negative 50 something. Motherfucking, oh God. My toes just curled in. But still, that's also horribly cold. Yes, these book recommendations that are coming in from other people that think like you, these are also good. Just follow their recommendations, because I'm going to end up saying something dumb. Yeah, people can be very temporal. It's wild. I've had things where it's like, this is a thing, and then gone. And it's like, wow, I learned so much. Just don't freak out, You are welcome, and much love right back. Anatomy of the Spirit. Ooh, that sounds neat. I haven't read it, but I'm into it. The Mountain Is You is a great book. I'm gonna just go with that. That sounds cool. Untethered Soul, yes, I definitely like that. And Power of Now, yes. Do you meditate? Yes. I love it. I do the kind where I sit there. And sometimes I'll do like little back spinnies and stuff. You can learn in different practices. Or breath things, where I breathe different breaths. But most of the time I'm literally I breathe up, and I take any like thoughts and tensions I might feel, and I just go, and I just keep like clearing until there's nothing like pulling me into the human experience. And then I sort of just gaze upward to the old proverbial eye thought spot, and I just sort of veg out there. I find if you let it go in your body at the same time as you let it go in your mind, like the feeling of all that holding on to everything, all the thoughts, goes away quicker. That's the Daniel method. I'm going to be sending a bill for that one. Okay, -4. This is just, you guys are saying gross things. I don't want to talk about it anymore. What do you think about the concept of 16 MBT personalities, Myers-Briggs mountain biking? I bet you in the mountain biking community or the biking community, they could totally come up with 16 different personality types based on like the guy that has that kind of mountain bike with those shorts, and they have like the different stereotypes. Are we talking about the Myers-Briggs? Myers-Briggs seems pretty okay, but I like the mountain bike concept better. I think it would be more applicable to daily living. I'm more of a nature-based spirituality. Yeah, get after it. Like anything that connects you with that greater sense of like all the stuff is cool. Here's the problem though. You find a way to connect with the greater stuff, and then you're like, oh, this is the way to do it. And then it's like someone's like, oh, did you hear Susie's connecting with the greater stuff? And then somebody writes it down and says, this is the way you got to do it. And then it becomes a religion. And then that same religion becomes the box that blocks you from the greater stuff. So you got to just keep going. Yeah, get out of here with all that fuckery, you know? I'm a therapist. I can't read, I'm sorry. I'm a therapist, and I teach a similar method of meditation to my clients. I do it. Well, okay, you're a therapist. I'm not. So you probably studied into trauma and stuff, and how we like hold all the things in our body, and how these like energy centers. It's like that's the release. It's that if you go to the maximum release, it's the breath of death. The final blow when you're like, okay, fuck it. Can't do anything more about this. Like, I'm just gonna peace out. You know, that like final release, like whatever that feels like, whatever that is, that's the final like dissolution of ego. Like, okay, I can't hold on to this anymore, what I'm expecting all this to be. So it's like if you can do that in meditation, and all of that, you grab the sensations and you just drop them as you breathe out with your thought, and you kind of place a mind-body connection focus together, it drops all that out. It like the thoughts are connected to the feelings, and so if you drop the feelings, you drop the thoughts. That's my theory, at least. Works great for me. I love that you teach a similar method. Hey, how's it going? Well, Michael, it's fantastic. I was going to do some work, and I was hoping someone was going to bring a saxophone so we could do some work magic while I was actually editing this little podcast episode, but then we just got such good questions. Yeah, trees are good religions. No boxes allowed. Yeah, anytime you draw that thick line defining how something is done, you automatically fucked yourself, you know? You heal people too, just because I'm a therapist doesn't mean I'm more qualified. Appreciate you. I'm just kind of doing the Daniel method. Here we are. Oh, it's just a title in this 3D world. Sending love. Thank you. Thank you. I'll get all healy up in here. I'll grab a crystal and I'll heal the shit out of you with it. I'll blast you. You watch yourself. You know I'll do it. Okay, guys, I'm going to work a little bit. Do you guys want to hang out and just vibe? I should have had some music playing. I can't do that because I was actually going to do this podcast thing. And now these little Polish Fiats are still here. Are my Polish friends still on? Because, man, I love Poland. Yeah, talk about these trees. Tell me about these trees. Trees are great. There's a feeling to plants. I'll tell you a little feeling. I had done an ayahuasca journey locally, and with a small group. And I had been doing this meditation circle all year, Hold on, let me find this Dropbox file while my brain's working. And I was like, not gonna miss a day. Like, not gonna happen, you know? I'm definitely gonna be there. So you're not really supposed to open your energy up to everything around you, like immediately off an ayahuasca trip, because you're just really tapped in with everything around you, and especially a lot of other people. And everyone's like, don't do it. And I was like, I'll let my body decide. And so I went to the meditation circle, of course, like the next morning. And I was careful with my energy. And I shit you not, these same aloe vera plants that grew all around it that I've been sitting with every day. Now this day I was like, hi. Yeah, okay, I feel you there. Like, I acknowledge your presence as some kind of somewhat conscious being. Like, you might feel an animal there. And there was this, like, purifying depth to them. Like, their roots went down so deep in the soil. And, like, that was the feeling that they were, like, whoosh, kind of sucking the bad vibes out of the place. Like, I don't know how else to explain it but that was definitely the feeling of them coming off of an experience like that. So trees, same thing, you know, like they're way down deep in the soil and they're connected. Even in a lot of like herbalism and stuff and farming and things like that, there's the more mature herbs that have root structures that grow way down into the soil are better for creating medicines and things like that because it has a richer depth to it. It's pulling in more nutrients. It's all this big connected thing. So anyway, yeah, Pisces vibes. Totally Pisces vibing right now. Deeply enough for forest. Yep. Yeah. And even in hey friend, even in shamanism and stuff, like the ayahuasca shaman and things like that, they'll diet on plants and they'll just sit with a plant and they'll eat little bits of the plant and they'll be out in the jungle for months, like in a tree fort with a plant. Hey, they'll eat little bits until the plant tells them things about the jungle and tells them how to do different like ayahuasca blends, which are different molecular compounds from different plants from completely different regions in the Amazon. And the jungle shamans have these plants tell them what the ingredients are for the things. I mean, it's some real freaky shit out there, but that's how this stuff happens. So be nice to your plants, you know, they're like people, chill. Treat saints to their mystic, yeah, it's all spirit, guys. Oh, wow, yeah, it's wild. It's real Jungle Book shit. There's another book called, The Guide to Being a Lion Tamer's, The Lion Tracker's Guide to Life, I think. And it's this dude, this guy that had been raised in South Africa, like white kid that like studied, like apprenticed with some lion trackers. And these guys are in charge of finding this pride of lion on some reserve so they can like take the tourists out there, right? And they don't track them by like looking at the prints and stuff. They don't track them by the trees and the stuff. That's like the final tracking. They track them with like this sense. It's like, I feel like they're over here, and they just like follow their sense around and they find them every time. It's like anyway, it's a really fascinating book as well. It's from like a completely different perspective, but how these guys is like jungle dudes do it, or not jungle dudes, but like the lion guys do it. Same as the shaman in the jungle. Like you get quiet enough, you can feel other things happening if you don't block it. Oh God, I was working. Fuck. What did I name this file that I actually transferred over here, or it's saved in Dropbox? You'd think I would just have it in my recents. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it, guys. Okay, we can do this. I believe in myself. All right, tell me something else cool about trees. Or somebody tell me some weird fact. Just anything weird, please. Yeah, I want to know where the sax magic is too, because here's the thing that I was thinking. Somebody might have a saxophone, and they could play, and if they had a saxophone, well, it's like a two-part process, you know. They have to have a saxophone and over 1,000 followers so that we could go live together. They could play a saxophone and I could do some magic. That was the whole idea. But nobody's come up with a saxophone yet, and it's okay. Yeah, I definitely meditate every day. I've not missed a day in over 2 years. Dear file. I'm going to hit this little button thing. Maybe share. Maybe if we just airdrop it. Can we just airdrop it? Will you allow me to please Oh, thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes, I love technology. Oh, receiving from the iPad. This is good, guys. This is good. I recorded the latest podcast episode on a better microphone. And I got some new headphones because my old microphone died. And my old headphones were dying. Anyway, it was nice. I liked it. All right. Some people learn trees by name. I find that interesting. I like that. You've got a lot of weird stuff to say. No, don't keep it to yourself. You know you got some weird stuff to say about the sax magics. So, really, does anyone have a saxophone? Because I'd be really highly interested in having you come here and playing saxophone for us. You're a psychology student. And do you have a saxophone, Mikey? Do you have a saxophone?
The what?
Do you have a saxophone?
No.
Fuck.
Why?
Yeah, that's what my dream right now was to hopefully someone would have a saxophone and come on live with me, and they could play saxophone while I did magic, and it would be sax magic.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah, it is. Hey, do you want to do a match with me?
I don't, dude, but I'm gonna hit back to my people. But enjoy your match, Mikey. Enjoy your day.
You too, bro.
Yeah, cool, man.
Take it easy.
I was really hoping Mikey had a sax, you know? Wouldn't that have been rad? God, that'd have been so good. Hey, look at this. I got the file. That's what happens when you live in the dream. Just making sax magic with Mikey. Really kind of disappointed that Mikey didn't have a sax, honestly. But I'm gonna let it slide on through. Okay, I'm gonna drop this little file right here, if that's okay with you guys. Sample rate conversion. Just converting the sample rate right now. Serbia? I've never been to Serbia. When I think of Serbia, I think of a little bit war-torn, but I bet it's way nicer now. Tell me about Serbia. What's going on? What's going on with Serbia? I'm probably seeing too many movies. Enjoy the coffee on me. Was that you that just sent that? I saw that come in and I was like, thank you. I bet Serbia slays. It's been a long time since there's been some big nasties, hasn't there been?
It's a brutally authentic podcast devoted to all the good things of life.
Okay, podcast intro. Cute.
You know, the grit, the shit, the hard stuff, the relationships, the traumas, the triggers, sex, religion, whatever it is. We're going to be talking about personal development and metaphysics and all the geeky stuff as well.
Has anybody listened to the podcast?
Us back from talking about it. So let's do it. Okay, dear driver.
Oh, man.
Everything hooked up right now. Just want to say a little prayer. Say please.
I don't know, guys. Oh, there's automations on here. Who left the automations on here?
Just like you to stay connected for the
How do I turn the automations off, guys? Get out of my face, automation. Ooh, maybe that button.
Now we're good.
Yeah.
We'll burn some sage.
Yes.
We got the demons of the negative vibe, bad connectors, driver problems, all sage.
I want to come.
We're clear.
I do want to come.
This.
Now you know my secret identity.
Hey, welcome to episode.
Some of you guys are all
Life is a Thing.
like, I don't know what.
Just want to say
I don't even know what you look like. You know.
So glad you're here.
I'm at least honest. I put a real picture of me up there.
Hey, welcome to episode 12.
Okay, look at this. I got a good episode recorded here. Honestly, sometimes trying to do all of the stuff. Okay, let's look at the keyboard shortcut. T. I should remember these keyboard shortcuts. You'd think, just because I'm old doesn't mean I wouldn't remember some keyboard shortcuts. Sometimes it's a little bit of a bitch trying to produce content and then also do money work.
In the same boat together, we're all feeling the same things, and there's nothing but fear holding us back from talking about it. So let's do it. Hey, welcome to episode 12 of Life is a Thing.
Okay.
I just want to say I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here.
Sounds like something I'd say.
Listening and checking things out.
Hold on.
You might have wandered over from TikTok recently. There's been a whole lot of activity over there. The fan people, the community hit 50,000 followers, and that was rather stunning.
Was anybody here when we were recording this episode?
Yeah, really great. Like,
because it was fun. We did some questions.
Doing a live right now as I'm recording this episode. There's the community sit.
I don't know if I love the EQ, guys. I mean, I like it, but I don't think I love it. Just give me a second, man. Can I say the weirdest things on podcasts? I don't know if I like this audio quality. Like the playback? I feel like I could have had a way better input volume, you know? What are you guys talking about? See, we all want to go to Serbia. Who doesn't? All right. You guys are touching orbs right now? Shamala Hamala? Well, what's happening? What did I miss? Okay. Got an adult. Ew. Ew, what's up? What's up, guys? Shamala Hamala. Are you touching orbs, Mary? You gotta chill, girl. Okay, I was listening to a podcast that I was recorded earlier, and I was trying to edit it down real quick. And I just, I'm not all that happy with the EQ curve. I feel like the input volume could have been way better, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? But I think it's just something I'm going to have to work through. Maybe in the original app. Let me check this. Okay. It's 2 a.m. What are you doing? Go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. for crying out loud. Hey, where are you guys checking in from anyway? Where you guys at? You'd think that technology would be easier, right? You'd think that.
Okay, dear driver.
and everything hooked up right now, I just want to say a little prayer. Say, please. Wait, I can burn something. Please just keep working. It sounds awesome on the iPad. What's happening? For everything that is holy and all that stuff, I'd like you to stay connected for the remainder of this recording. Amen. Maybe I have that EQ running. No, we're good. Let me see here, guys. Just something, something just sounded off. San Ramon, Chicago. Okay. Sorry for getting a little distracted there. I'm working on some technical difficulties. Okay, I got the new mic, and I was like, this is gonna kill. And I got new headphones because my other ones were dying. Everything was dying. And I recorded it, and it just doesn't have like, oh my gosh, I just got scared to death from an email notification that was so very loud in my ear. I think I pooped. Shit. Okay, let's try this. Why is it so loud? Okay. I fixed it. Everything's fine. Everybody calm down. We got this. Ooh. It sounds so good. You could listen to this just to fall asleep. It's so calming. We're good. Oh wait, all right, are we good? I just don't feel like we're good. Okay. It's not quite the depth I want, Everything's gonna be okay here. I think we're okay. I'm not gonna lie. I still like the way the other mic sounded. I mean, I'm gonna be okay. Don't freak out. Let's try. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think. Maybe. It might be fun. It might suck. This has been
taking the TikTok vibes out there.
This has been an advertisement for the podcast.
So today on the
we recorded a podcast earlier today. It's highly exciting and possibly educational. Okay, Chicago. Amsterdam. Everything is dying, of course. Did I say that? I might have said that. Yeah, I have multiple plants filtering my room air right now. Not like a crazy like boho plant lady. Though I kind of like that. I like it a lot. What's the name of the pod and where is it available? It's called Life is a Thing. Oh, look at you. Look at you, Funky Fresh. Just covering it right here. Took the words right out of my mouth, like literally. Just look at you guys supporting each other. It's a beautiful thing. Look at you guys supporting each other. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, we recorded an episode today.
We talk about kind of feelings and the intelligence.
Still working out the audio quality.
What our body is telling us.
I'm definitely gonna do it different next time.
And through our feelings, as we learn to process our emotions and maybe ease into the journey a little bit and to co-regulate with each other in our nervous systems.
Points where I stopped.
And figure out
It
why
was
we're
fun.
feeling
I
the
did
way
it
we're feeling.
during the live,
Figure out how to
and then had some
actually
questions.
feel when we've been suppressing it.
I like the format. A little bit confusing, but
like what is simple.
I've maintained on track for
And your mind.
a good solid 30 minutes, which was exceptional for my mind. Exceptional.
The sensations. And it's going to create the yuck sensation that draws.
Anybody else just drop it in?
That blocks the yuck sensation. So it's a big loop, except for worse. Because it's all entangled. It's all the same. There's no difference.
Sounds like something I would
between
say.
Your body and your spirit, because it is from that energetic level a spirit. It is nothing but an electrical ghost that is being created as you go. So you have a whole lot of control over your reality when you have a whole lot of control over your emotions, and you learn how to feel these things.
I agree with this.
And you learn how to not project on others that you are making me feel this way. Man, it's pretty great. So we are on TikTok Live right now in this episode. We've been flowing along here.
We're also on TikTok Live.
I actually
right
kept a
here.
coherent train of thought going. That was, I'm going to call that a Christmas miracle.
Currently reading.
And I wanted the TikTok Live folk to have some questions here. See if I can answer anything. So why don't you guys fire away?
Let's see what's happening here. Book suggestions. What am I currently reading? Well, I went back and revisited a couple trauma books, and then I got distracted. I'm not currently reading anything right now at this very moment. I usually actively read something and then I finish it. I'm just making TikToks about bullshit. But yeah, suggestions of delicious books to read. I don't know, what are you into? You like stories about barbarians and elves? Because there's definitely stories like that out there. Or there's the dramatic ones, like mysteries involved, or scary ones. I kind of like the sci-fi ones, the space battles. What kind of suggestions are you looking for? I need more details on that. I can't just, what am I? Like the suggestion guy? You're doing ASMR and reading about Bigfoot? Or is it ASMR? When you said that, I imagined somebody with Bigfoot's foot, like Bigfoot in the studio, and he just says Bigfoot there, and they put their arms around it and an ASMR mic, and they're like, doing that? Isn't that exactly what you imagined when you typed that comment? Did anybody else feel like that when you read that comment? Because it seems like something that would happen.
You guys, my leg fell asleep so bad. I'm going to let this run.
I remember this part of the podcast where my leg fell asleep. Oh,
Ask your question.
It was horrible.
Fire away.
It was truly... I've never, ever thought I'm really going to lose this leg, from it falling asleep before that hard. There was a moment there where I was like, she's a goner. She's done. There's never going to be another moment in my life where I have this leg as a part of my nervous system. Massive trauma. Okay? But then it wore off and it was okay. Okay, Gentleman in Moscow is a solid book. Ooh, what is this? A Gentleman in Moscow sounds excellent. Okay, so you were feeling the thing about Bigfoot's foot. Because I saw it in my mind. Oh, Good Life by Vex King. Good Life by Vex King? He is the Vex King. Historical fiction. Ooh, like the Bible? Neville Goddard. Are you into his stuff? No. What kind of stuff does Neville write? Is it okay if I call him Neville? Or is he more formal than that?
You guys, my leg fell asleep so bad. I'm going to let this run.
This is the moment from the podcast when my leg is
falling asleep. Ask your questions.
Just be hearing me.
Because I'll answer a couple
hearing
of
the anger in my
for
voice.
the episode. But I'm going to hobble to the bathroom right now, and it's going to be hobbly because my leg is god-awful asleep. I might crawl.
I'm having flashbacks. My leg is feeling this again.
Oh, it's already sucking badly. I'm just going to pretend that I'm dead. Oh, fuck me sideways. It's so... I need to burn some sage, but I can't reach it right now. You know when it's coming back online?
Oh, God. I'm an
Everything
idiot.
is exploding. Shh, little leg.
I'm reliving this moment. I forgot how dramatic it was.
None of this is okay.
Was anybody there for
All
that?
of those things I've been telling you guys on video where I'm like, it's fine, guys. It's not fine right now. My leg is not fine. It's just going to be dead. I'm going to have to cut it off. I don't want to be dramatic about this, but I'm probably going to... I'm going to hobble to the bathroom.
I'm going to make this its own podcast episode. It's brilliant. Whew.
It's real bloody when I come back. Just...
Oh, man. That was a good laugh.
Oh.
I'm still moaning about it. God, what an idiot. Sometimes you just gotta go with it, you know? What did you fall into here? Well, what did you fall into here? Well, I was trying to do work editing a podcast episode while we just kind of vibed out a little bit and talked about things. And we had some good questions and some other parts of the conversation where I was just laughing at a part of the podcast where my leg had fallen asleep, but I was editing it out, but I just wanted to listen to it before I deleted it. And I'm really glad I did, because it really had some good nuggets in there that made me laugh at my own idiocy. Like, that's how good they were. You know when you make yourself laugh and you're like, that was a really good one? That's how you know it's good. It's like a self-checking, like auto-correcting mechanism within your body. It's part of your nervous system.
Lord, sweet mother.
How's it going with you, anyway?
The little baby Christ child. Talk amongst yourself. For real.
God, I'm
What are your questions?
such an idiot. I wouldn't have it any other way. How long did it take me to come back?
I was gonna cut the leg off because it was just done.
I'm still going on about it.
And then how to generate the vlog.
It's making me nervous, guys.
Yeah, my leg fell asleep badly if you just showed up.
I'm still moaning about the
I
leg.
sat for a
there we
good
go.
30 minutes doing a podcast episode, not moving.
And that mic is super directional.
I love Ram Dass's stuff. I like his lecture series, but it shows you how to feel a lot. So, Power of Now.
See, everybody's always like, what book?
Alan
book?
Watts is always great for bending
What
your brain
book?
around.
And I was like,
a
just
bit.
all the books. It was a good live. Were you there? You were
Frank
there.
Herbert.
I was really
Talking
dramatic
the
about
other
that
day,
leg
Dune.
thing.
Oh, I know it's not a spiritual
I'll
book.
speed up. You're welcome for the existence. I'll be here all week. Or maybe just tonight, you never know.
The trauma that's so hard for me.
Be Here Now is good, yeah. I really like Ram Dass's lecture series. Like,
Trauma keeps coming up. Okay, yeah.
when he's just in it.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hit on
it's just like raw. He's great.
Some relationship stuff, some generating. So we'll talk about.
Dude, get all crazy about those ups and downs.
If you're still hanging out, originally we had some driver problems and we figured it out, and so far, the mic's still going. So, hold on, we gotta do this right.
I appreciate
so I don't have to actually
your appreciation.
Distracted.
It's like a loop of appreciation.
Just to have thoughts come through. All right, we were gonna talk about. All right, we got a couple questions from Tyack here.
The Spotify lectures, or any of Ram Dass's lectures.
New feelings in our bodies.
Hold on.
How to generate the good feelings. And a couple I like talking about grief, trauma, or maybe recovering from abusive. New feelings in our bodies. This is so I don't have to actually look at you and be distracted. And I can just have thoughts come through. All right, we were going to talk about... All right, we got a couple questions from TikTok here.
I believe this was the moment.
Questions from TikTok.
I believe this was the moment.
All right, we got a couple questions.
That was the moment. Right there. You got to be in the moment. Oh, I'm going to delete that part of all that idiocy about the leg. It was so good. I can always go back and listen to it on my deathbed another day. It's from some saved device. Deleted. Let's see if there was anything useful in this section. Alright, anything cool going on? Been coming and going. Okay. The mouse lived in Sherlock's house of wall. That mouse lived in... What? What mouse? First it's a Bigfoot, now it's a mouse? Did I miss something? Did I miss a comment? Alright, there's 13 of you here now. I think this is probably the right time to talk about it. My birthday is on the 4th of March. That's next month. I don't actually know how many days away that is, but it feels like it's probably pretty close. Somebody do the math. And I was like, how sweet would that be just to do a bonfire down at Moonlight Beach and anybody that was anywhere near could come hang out? That was pretty much the extent of my plan. Who's in? Oh, there's 14 of us now. I just got off work. So happy to see your face on my feed. Glad you're here. I was trying to actually edit a podcast episode. It was happening.
Yes, fire away.
Then I looked at this. Talk to me about this.
All right, we got a couple questions from...
Is anybody nearby? Oh, a bunch of you guys are in Scotland and stuff. This is just a tease.
From TikTok here about maybe how to generate new feelings in our bodies, how to generate the good feelings, and a couple I like talking about grief, trauma, or maybe recovering from abusive relationship trauma, and those can be kind of the same. There's a lot of grief trauma in those shit relationships, so yeah, we'll work on that. But we'll talk about how we have relationship trauma, and those can be kind of the same. There's a lot of grief trauma in those shit relationships, so yeah, we'll work on that. But we'll talk about how we have those...
Oh, cleverly edited, Daniel. No one will even know you cut out that little junk section. Brilliant. This is basically the man behind the curtain. This is how podcasts are made. This is where the magic happens.
But we'll talk about... But we'll talk about...
I don't like that little clicky sound. What's going on with that little mouth click?
But we'll talk...
We're gonna leave it. We're not gonna care.
But we'll talk about how we have those feelings that generate in our body. You know, we have the negative sensations. How do we generate some of the good sensations now that we're aware that these different things are actual sensations that have been generated from thought processes?
Yeah, when you're good, you're good.
So there's some different, there's a lot of different biohacking stuff you can look up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just straight up Google search.
I wasn't actually doing anything cool.
Happy hormones or something like that. And there'll be a million articles on it for stuff to try.
I'm just trying to work on this podcast, but I figured it would be fun to hang out.
One good way to do it is, I like just through mindset. And like even a little body trigger. And I kind of joke about it being like a yoga move, but just smiling. Just to put a smile on your face. Like the actual process of the muscles lifting in your face triggers some happy hormones in your body. It's like, oh, it's time to smile. Okay, I'm putting my body in the posture of happy, and because my posture is happy, then my body knows, oh, trigger some happy hormones. So it's like you can kind of force a smile and be like, okay, I'm just gonna take a breath, and like,
you work on those
when you have to put a smile on your face, you kind of have to put a smile on your heart. You know, you can't. You feel like a fucking idiot if you're just sitting there smiling and faking it. So you sort of take a breath and like. Just let a little joy come in your heart and like feel that opening in your heart space. That opening are the happy hormones hitting. Those are the sensations. That feeling of like,
good advice.
This is nice. Like, look at these trees.
You guys can hear
real
this, right?
Trees over here. You know, you get that real good tree feeling. Kind of like that. So you just do happy feelings on purpose. Practice being happy. You can be grateful for what you have. Practice being grateful for everything that you have. And then that generates all more good, because then you're all happy with everything you have. And that energy of happiness with what you have draws in more good stuff. So you just sort of have to change your perspective and say, okay, I'm going to choose joy in this moment.
It's good.
I understand that everything is moving on, and passing through. And I'm not going to grab onto this. I'm just going to kind of see what happens. And
they are on
and choose to have
Spotify.
joy. So you can practice generating
the podcast.
You can also do things like breath work, like do a Wim Hof class and jump in a cold plunge.
If you look on my profile, you'll find links to stuff.
You'll be stoned out of your mind. You're literally seeing colors, and you have a 200% dopamine increase, and you're just
happy mentally.
You're in a space after that. Like, there's definitely biohacking stuff you can do. You can take a cold shower every day. It increases your dopamine levels by 200% or something like that. There's all this good stuff that happens. Now, some of it sucks. Some of it's not fun to do. But if you're really hurting, try it. It'll change your mood, because it changes the way your body feels, you know? So that's kind of how to generate some happy stuff.
That's good advice.
Oh, we talked about that question from TikTok, was the relationship trauma, and kind of how to sit through that and pass some stuff through. And I think there's two elements here that end up being three elements as I think of it.
I don't want to listen to all this right now.
Hurt in this relationship trauma. One, elements as I think of it.
I don't want to listen to all this right now.
Hurt in this relationship trauma. One, our view on relationships and the way we set ourselves up for pain.
Was anybody here?
Of saying, you complete me.
Was anybody here when we recorded this episode?
On this very temporal timeline of life.
It was pretty fun.
We don't know when our last breath is.
It's so dark,
it's transient relationships with people that come through our life.
So dark.
You think, God, this person is the forever. And
relationships.
Pass through sometimes. Exactly. And then you're left somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
But you're still left with yourself.
Put that heavy shit down.
Generating all your own feelings. So some of the trauma is the fact that you've made this attachment to others, saying, this is what completes me, instead of being complete within yourself.
Did you hear this? It's good.
And then inevitably that attachment generally pushes the other away, because there's a demand, there's no love there, there's no acceptance of them as who they are. They have to be somebody that completes you. It's hard to recover from, because you got to acknowledge that. You got to look at yourself and say, look at me doing this to myself.
How could you be lost? How could you be lost in a moment that only exists right now? What? Okay. You miss which part? That's the one you needed to hear? Well, now you're going to miss it, and you'll have to look it up on... It'll probably be on Spotify and Apple, I don't know, as soon as I'm done, I'll just throw it on. I'm just changing everything around on the website stuff, guys. It's like... I accidentally got myself into content creation instead of just doing, like, healing stuff. I mean, accidentally on purpose. I wasn't expecting it to go nutso. You get sucked into doing fucking lives in the middle of the day when I'm supposed to be editing a podcast, or I want to be editing a podcast, you know? So now I'm just trying to figure out how to balance everything and get the website changed around so I can get more stuff out for everybody else, and we can have some, It's like figuring out life. Sometimes it's a little messy. Hey, content creating is still here. Yeah, that's true. You guys have been people have been pretty stoked. Outsource podcast editing to you. Okay, send me a message. I'm gonna give you a little follow. You requested to follow this private account. I've requested to follow you. Oh, this is good. Your videos help me to drop my ego and accept my faults. Yeah. It's like way easier when you just go in there. You're like, it's all my bullshit. Yeah, it is cookies time with milk, but I don't have any cookies. I have a little bit of ice cream though. Ooh, I just don't need that in my life right now. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. Can you guys calm down? Everybody get some water. I'm gonna need a little refill here. So now's your chance to get a little bit of water. Maybe put a little tea on. Oh, I forgot I had lentils cooking. This is, immaculate. Definitely gonna need some of those. Did you guys have fun? Yeah, don't tempt me with the ice cream. I'll eat it. I'll eat that shit. It was pretty good. But it stays fluffy. Like it stays fluffy. I don't trust it. I'm like, this is just filled with chemicals. The only way to make ice cream stay fluffy, like at any temperature, doesn't matter if it's butt-ass cold, like Canadian winter frozen, or if it's like a little bit getting room temperature, it still stays the same consistency. It's like they made this with styrofoam. It's not physically possible. And when I say physically possible, I mean physics. To be a fluffy ice cream and a frozen ice cream without a lot of chemicals. Nutritional science. Okay, you work at an ice cream factory? I mean, I felt, when I said those words, I felt scientific about it. And this works at an ice cream factory. We have this on record. Well, not really, because the comments are not recorded, but the video is recorded. And for the comments, for the video, just so we're aware of exactly what was said, he says, Daniel was exactly correct in his statements about ice cream, and his science is irrefutable. Those were the words. I just read them straight off the comments.
And then you go, okay, what am I trying to learn? What am I trying to teach myself here? And that's when you get to use the pain portal to learn something cool. Shared before that I used to, and I've used this in session work before.
Irrefutable.
Lost family member grief and helping people kind of go through this exercise to integrate that. But with my own father, it was very.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about this.
Dad was here, I still have these feelings of Dad, and I was within me.
I gotta get this section out of here. That's outro music, and that doesn't come until the outro, which hasn't come yet. I'm gonna just delete that little. How do you delete an automation point? Somebody, where's that podcast editing guy? You'd think they'd make this easier for me. They haven't. Steve Jobs. Motherfucker. You guys still here?
It's a set of feelings that I'm creating to integrate, to not push the feeling of that person away, to be like, yeah, everything you taught me is within. And here we are, together. And you have this close sense with it.
It was some good advice. I highly recommend you listening to this podcast episode when it comes out.
All right. Should we go for another question? Some feelings? Yeah, we should.
And then I probably did something else. off mic. I definitely did. Something else off mic. So we're going to just cut it right there real quick. Is that cool? Definitely reading comments.
Because this is, if you're just catching up right now, we were just finishing up a podcast episode talking about like the intelligence of the body and the feelings and things like that. Oh, fuck. What was the question?
Professional.
Oh, yeah. Afraid of sitting with the big stuff. Trauma and things.
That's the part I was
All right,
just
we've got a
editing.
couple questions about trauma and being afraid to sit with the bigger sensations and the bigger feelings. Oh, yeah. Afraid of sitting with the big stuff. Trauma and things.
Yes.
All right, we've got a couple questions about...
Another brilliant edit. Just another one. Just really nailed it on that. How does he do it? Nobody knows. Still can't remember how to use GarageBand, but I'm just gonna keep boosting myself up. Cause it's way better than beating myself up for these shitty edits. That's how you do it in the professional land.
Some feelings? Yeah, we should. All right, we've got a couple questions about...
Let's just back that train up a little bit right there. All right, how are we doing? Everyone cool? He's the Wonder Boy, right? Look, he sings, he dances, he edits fucking podcasts.
All right, we've got a couple questions about trauma and being afraid to sit with the bigger sensations and the bigger feelings. So when you go into those spaces, remember that. When you open into the feeling of the original trauma, into the memory of it, you're gonna feel a lot of those feelings. The same feeling sets that have been blocked are going to come through and be released in your body, because you're literally opening yourself into the memory of this thing, which has been suppressed through your natural process, your natural protection mechanisms of your autonomic nervous system. So you're like bypassing the safety mechanism of your body here. So those feelings will come flooding back in. So you be prepared for those, to accept them. And so if you have to have a big, horrible cry in the middle of having...
Sometimes when I'm editing stuff I've said, I'm like, I said that? Like, I learned things. You know, is that...
Having a big, horrible cry, you're acknowledging, yeah, of course I gotta have a big, fucking, horrible cry. This sucks. So you stay out of it a little bit. You don't fully buy into your own drama as you're passing this stuff through. And you acknowledge your meat suit having a response, having a reaction to a big energy that's always been blocked away, that's always been there, but your perspective has kept it as something that's blocking you from life, from beauty, from all. So to these dark spaces together and allow you to process these things, and left to kind of fend for themselves. It might feel just like that, and it can suck. And you can totally stay out of it. You can totally keep a higher mind in the midst of the process and allow those emotions to go through, and allow them to go through with joy and with gratitude at the same time, knowing that they will pass and you will no longer have to suffer that affliction. So sitting with the big stuff's hard. It's just a trick. And just remember, your body is telling you all kinds of things. When you tap in with it and you listen, you can learn some stories about yourself. And you can learn how to get past these stories that you've been telling yourself all this time. And you can learn how to heal from all your dramas and your traumas and your bullshit. And you can learn how to live a much more beautiful, cleaner life, open to all of the beauty around you. Anyway, this was, I think, episode 12 of Life is a Thing. The intelligence of the body. Thanks for listening, and thanks for
this was like
TikTok hanging out for this whole episode.
A meta podcast.
Thanks for the good questions.
Because I was editing a podcast that I had recorded live for TikTok, but I was editing it on a live. It's so meta. Nobody can even understand it. Okay. I like that. I like how that episode came out, guys. I highly recommend subscribing to the podcast or doing podcast things, when you go find a podcast somewhere that you like, you listen to it. I'm sure it helps if you do all reviews and hullabaloo. Let me just drop that little outro music in there.
Power mind in the midst of the process and allow
I even play
those
guitar on my
emotions to
own
go
podcast,
through and allow them to go through
so
with joy and with gratitude at the same time, knowing that they will pass and you will no longer have to suffer that affliction. So sitting with the big stuff's hard. It's just a dream. Just remember your body is telling you all kinds of things.
I need a little better phrasing than that.
Tap in with it. Listen. You can learn some stories about yourself. Learn how to get past these stories that you've been telling yourself all this time. And you can learn how to heal from all your dramas and your traumas and bullshit.
Let's see here.
So sitting with the big stuff's hard. It's just a trick. And just remember your body is telling you all kinds of things.
I like that point. That's good.
You tap in with it. You listen. You can learn some stories about yourself. You learn how to get past these stories that you've been telling yourself all this time. And you can learn how to heal from all your dramas and your traumas and bullshit. You can learn how to live a much more beautiful, cleaner life, open to all of the beauty around you. Anyway, this was, I think, episode 12 of Life is a Thing. The intelligence of the body. Thanks for listening, and thanks for you on TikTok hanging out for this whole episode. I enjoyed you guys being here. Thanks for the good questions.
Alright, guys. Now it's decision-making time. I didn't actually proof the whole episode, okay? I didn't listen to the whole thing. I think I cut the parts out that I was supposed to cut out. So now I have the decision of either sitting here listening to the whole fucking thing or just posting it and not giving a shit. Vote. It's hard. It's like hard sometimes, you know? It's really hard. Yep, just post it. Yeah, listen again. Bro, you're the same guy that said you were going to help edit these things. I feel like you're the type of guy that would listen again. Excellent choice. Excellent vintage. This particular vintage, it came from Lemuria, right? It's a magical land. And apparently, because this crystal came to me from Lemuria, all of the ridges are lines of code that I downloaded into this crystal before the fall of Lemuria. And if I rub the lines of code while I meditate, I will download the information from my previous Lemurian self. That is what the hippies told me. I tried it. It felt nice to rub, but I don't know if I gained any Lemurian wisdom in the process of the rubbing. Okay, look, about the sax magic. My intention here was that someone who had a saxophone would join, that also had 1,000 followers. And I've asked multiple times. And I love this community, you know? Was it not fucking, did I not rub it hard enough? Let me just give it another shot. They told me this. Like 2 different people told me this. One guy was really serious about it. He was like dead nut serious. And I was like, all right, dude, I'll try it. And I tried it. I sat there and meditated, and you're like, it's supposed to hit with your thumbnail or something? He's a 5D, okay? Highly emotionally unstable. At least in my experience in professionally dealing with people and their emotions. But I didn't... It's possible that my third eye was crusty or something. But when I don't know how to put this, but when I rubbed the Lemurian with my rubber, my finger rubber. What? Okay, I touched it. Nothing happened. I didn't have a fucking download or anything. I was waiting to turn into a mermaid creature, or I didn't know what you're supposed to do as a Lemurian. It seemed like a very beautiful idea. I mean, I was gifted this by Ashley, who I hope's watching this live because I love her. She's good at crystals. She's got some big ones. And she gave this to me, and it was very meaningful because it came from Ashley, and she was like, here, have a crystal. And I was like, thank you. And I loved it. And she's like, it's Lemurian. And it seemed really important when she told me that. And I was like, yeah, Lemurian. And then I'm like, what's a Lemurian crystal? Gone to Google's, Calm the fuck down. Anyway, I almost stabbed myself in the eye. Luckily, I had these safety glasses on. So she gave me this Lemurian. Thank you, Amethyst 111111. Thank you. You guys are showering me with gifts. It's beautiful. Replace these safety glasses, which I almost stabbed myself in the eye with this Lemurian crystal. That's maybe how you get the code downloaded. So anyway, I appreciated the crystal because I was like, this is a nice gift from a nice lady. And it looked cool, too. It looks cool as shit. And it's got little lines on it. It doesn't really have a scent to it, being a crystal and all, not being so fucking hard that it's not bleeding off molecules that we're going to pick up with our sensory factories, because it's a fucking crystal, you guys. Just chill out. And so and then the other guy was like, this is the Lemurian story. He was like, you got to do that. And I was like, all right. He was serious about it. He's Reiki and people and stuff. He did my certification for Reiki. And but I tried it. I really did. I was like, I'm going to rub this thing, and I'm going to download something from Lemuria, and I'm going to learn how to build spaceships or something. So Lemuria is like an ancient culture or something, like Aquarius is like a gone civilization. But here's the story. The Lemurian elves, your Lemurian past self, probably connected to your starseed consciousness here. They were talking to the elves. And the Lemurian elves, they took all of your past Lemurian goodness and none of the badness, because that probably didn't exist, because this is Lemuria after all, right? And they downloaded in this little crystal. And then when it comes to you got to figure out how to get the code out of the crystal when you're downloading and rubbing it. And this is I get it. It's like a thought process that somebody could have. And it seems like a cute story. But I really tried it. I didn't get a fucking thing out of it. No code. I don't know how to build a spaceship. It might be a dud. Doesn't look like it though. I mean, look at that thing. It's all shiny. It's a rock that you can see through. Like, what the fuck? And it's got code. I think it's a dud. All right. I'm going to get back to this podcast editing. Thank you for the reminder to grab a crystal, though. That helped. Helped me a lot. Brandon, get back to work. You better not be here still. I'm going to be pissed.
Hey, this is Daniel, and welcome to Life is a Thing. It's a brutally authentic podcast devoted to all the good things of life. And when I say the good things, I mean, the grit,
have a good
the shit,
day or
the hard
night.
Stuff, the relationships,
of course,
the traumas, the triggers, the sex, religion, whatever it is. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it could work. I mean, it's the thing that could work. Like, theoretically, there's stuff there. And I'm a big believer in all the piezoelectricity. I think your bones are the radio antenna of all of that. Your bones are piezoelectric as well, just like your pineal gland, which has a little crusty crust on it. It's how quartz radios work, how you dial it in. It's electrically compress the crystal, and it emits a particular hertz, a resonance, a frequency, or it receives a particular frequency. It's like how radios work. Do you believe in God? Yeah. I mean, have you seen how radios work? It's some wild shit. %100% agree. Gotta do a Kunda buffer before. Gotta have a line leveler going in to your Kundalini extravaganza. Definitely buffer that signal out. You know what I'm saying? Because you hit too much Kundalini in your business and you're fucked. You know, that goes straight to you'll activate, and you're not gonna be ready for it. I'm glad you love the vibe. Got a Kunda buffer. Are you a guitarist, or are you just talking buffer as in just simple electric, like DC design or anything like that? Because that's what I want to know. That's what's important here.
Personal development and metaphysics and all the geeky stuff as well. And ultimately, we'll be learning to flow.
How did you know this thing?
I'm going to share my own personal experiences, and I'm going to get as raw and honest.
Okay, sorry guys, sorry.
So let's do it. Hey, welcome to episode 12 of Life is a Thing.
See, I'm still not, what the fuck balls? Sorry to anybody who would be offended by being here.
Just want to say I love you.
I just wish the EQ cover's better, you know? I know I'm listening to it on laptop speakers, but you seem like a very cool dude, man. I'm definitely gonna watch your videos. Yeah, obs. Like, that's why I made the videos. Right. Okay. Love your introspective expression. Thank you. Kunda buffer is sending the energy down before you set it up. What? Are they really calling it a Kunda buffer? So that's a real thing. They're really saying, okay. I mean, I like to think of the body as a circuit, and a buffering circuit is a circuit that's going to like line level something before it goes through. So if you're thinking of your energetic nervous system, the Kundalini and Yogi Bhaja is all mixed up with some tantric crazy words and things. I mean, you could definitely put a buffer in line. As far as circuit design goes, it would stabilize the flow of energy. By imagining that in place, it could definitely be a thing. It's a Kunda buffer. I'm gonna talk to Sarah about that one. She's deep in the Kundalini business. A friend of mine recommended not to do Kundalini until I was ready. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. With your Kundalinis, it's just, I mean, I've definitely experienced different Kundalini type things and known a lot of Kundalini people and people that do Kriya Yoga and, you know, try to get me all activated in my things. They try to activate my things, you know. Sometimes it's fun, but it could be very chafing, you know. So everything I've messed with, it's like the feeling of the Holy Spirit up in church, type of pasta. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, of course. I think we're talking about Kundalini, and this is like interracial. Like, you don't have to have a race for Kundalini. It's just a weird exercise that Yogi Bhaja made up a while ago. He put some neat words to feelings. Like, it's just him describing feelings that he generated within his body, you know? So the Kundalini Awakening is like this energetic awakening. So if you've sung and danced in church and like got a lot of Hakuna Matata and you felt a little tingle, that's kind of like it, you know? Or if you did some breath work, Wim Hof, jumped in a cold plunge and you felt some tingle, like that's it. If you ran on a marathon and had that high, you go into that like endorphin, like that's it. If you ever orgasmed and felt that little death of like that's it. It's the same thing. So it's just different ways of kind of modifying it throughout your nervous system. And so Kundalini is a modality to do that. It just gets really mixed up in a lot of weird talk about purification and things like that, and you know, this very like sacred energy, when it's all energy, it's all there, and it's just how you process it through your system. And Kundalini is a modality for processing energy in some way, which granted does awaken a feeling of a lot of tingles sometimes. And voila, you have a nervous system. And that's my Kundalini lecture. So it's just a panic attack. Yeah, it's not actually Kundalini. It's just having a panic attack. Just calm down. Oh, man. You orgasmed? Good job. I highly recommend it. Ex-Christian here, worked with team. Oh, yeah, dude, ex-Christian. Why wham? Oh, yeah. Yep. I know the jams. What do you think happens after death? Your ego, you remain, and your ego that perceives of you as the form you are in this moment of conceptualized time you are, and all those things reassociates into something else. Christopher? No, I don't want to battle. I hung up on a guy. Oh, you got back from adulting. Oh, shit. I was still trying to finish this dumb podcast episode.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so grateful you're listening.
Said some nice
checking things out.
Okay.
You might have wandered over from TikTok recently.
I'm just not... Like, the way the low roll-off on this happened, I'm just not... It doesn't really, like, tingle my Kundalini, you know? And that makes me so upset. I'm like, if my Kundalini's not tingling...
Your reality, when you have a whole lot of control over your emotions, and you learn how to feel these things.
Also, one more thing about the energy Kundalini people and the Kriya Yoga people and the Holy Spirit people and all the people that really like to really chase the tingle. Like, I'm talking like compulsively chasing the tingle. Every one of them I've come across, the more they're chasing the tingle, the more like emotionally dysregulated they are. And I swear to God, it's just searching outside of themselves for some element of self. But the thing that they're running away from is their own wounds and their own fears and their traumas and things like that. So you can chase the tingle, but don't chase it away from yourself, because it's still you there in the middle. Does the universe always have your best interest at heart? Well, I guess your best interest would be defined by your lens of understanding of what the universe is and who you are and how you have a role in it. And that lens of understanding is your ego. So those are your demands on you should be this way and everything should be that way and all that stuff. So it's kind of a chase your tail thing. Is like, does my ego have my best interest at heart? Because that's how you're defining universe to start out with. But to speak on the level that you're asking, or to speak maybe one level up, some level between, was to be that you are magnetically attracting things, like just like a simple fucking magnet, right? North to south, energetic flow. And you can't help it. It's just the way that everything lines up and flows. That's how energy works. And the ego is saying, no, this energy has to flow this way, or this energy has to flow that way. And it can get very complex in its circuitry of demand. So you're just attracting what you need, and sometimes that hurts because it's a realignment into a better way of being. So yeah, in that sense, it's always got your best interest at heart because it's just simple magnets. And then there's probably other ways you could look at it as well, but it's hard to be something other than what is. And there's the moment. Big fan from the UK. Off the bed, go to bed. Okay, I recorded this episode. It's going to be live by the time you wake up, okay? And you can feel a tingle in your nuggets. You should be recording that. I was recording it. It automatically records. I don't know what I'm going to do with these lives. I don't want to do all that editing. We chase the sun. It's not so much the tingle. That's where the consciousness is. Yeah. It's kind of like both, you know? You chase all the things. Just don't get confused with like the tingle. Oh, now there's an arrival, or this is the way because I got a tingle. It's like you can take this Lemurian crystal right here. You can shove it way up in your butt, way up in there. You'll get a tingle, especially if you speak in tongues while like singing really lively church music. Like you'll fucking tingle. And you can do a Kriya at the same time. And I guarantee you'll be so tingly. Okay. Yeah, there's a million ways. Millions of ways into the house, but all the ways into the house are the house. And the house is nothing but a concept. So it's a shit show. If you have more red flags, should you leave the relationship to try to find a girl? Well, if you were aware of your red flags... Wait, are they have red flags? Okay, let's just talk about you. If you're like, oh shit, look at me red flagging. Thank you for that delicious heart thing. And you're like, look at my red flags. You could just be aware of the fact that you got the red flags, and then you can be like, hey babe, I realize I just became aware that I'm doing this stuff and I kind of want to get out of it. Can you help me? That might work. And if you see them with a bunch of red flags, then, I mean, red flags are there to warn you. It's like if you saw red flags, if you were driving down, let's just say you're driving down a road, right? Fairly busy road, like a freeway. And there's a bunch of red flags on the side of the road that are closing a lane off. And maybe there's a guy waving and there's some lights and stuff. And every time I've ever driven onto a freeway or a road with a situation like that, I've always just gone ahead and not run over the red flags. Excuse me, computer. This is what I have to live with. So anyway, you just don't, I mean, they're red flags. You get the idea, right? I don't have to keep doing this. Maybe I should get a red flag. Just be like waving it around a little bit. Okay. What are you talking about? Jazz? Psychedelics? May I please ask you about psychedelics? You may. What do you want to know? The difference between mindfulness versus God. The difference between mindfulness and psychedelics. I really wish... Oh, look at that. I forgot I had this delicious drink right here. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I put that there a minute ago because I thought I was going to sit there and work. And then I was just like, oh, I'll do it live. And I could have been consuming this watermelon wonder this whole time. I didn't even work for the company. I don't even actually drink a lot of kombucha. I don't think it's it's that good for our gut health. Debatable. This one really just looked good though, so I bought it. Oh. It's truly a wonder. Do you feel that pulsing through my veins? That's really good. I actually like that it's not at the frigid cold temperature. It's had a little more.
That you are making me feel this way.
Flavor, you know, and the flavor was good. Great.
So we are on TikTok Live right now in this episode. We've been flowing along.
We're also on TikTok Live right now.
I actually kept a coherent train of thought going. That was, I'm going to call that a Christmas miracle.
We were talking about something, I forgot.
And I wanted the TikTok Live folk to have some questions.
Difference between mindfulness and meditation.
Trigger some
Mindfulness can be an awareness.
Find yourself somebody to talk with, somebody to sit with, somebody.
Just being aware that there's a bigger thing. It's not just you in the center of this, proverbial universe. Oh, sweet baby. That was just. I've brewed my own kombucha as well. This one, the watermelon one, though, they really put some drugs in this because it's something else. Yeah, it really is. Glitching. Universe doesn't want you to know what? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Meditation is like, meditation's a whatever you want. I think maybe what you're asking for is, how do I have peace? How do I be at rest in the process? Plus, if you're thinking you want to be mindful or you want to meditate, you're probably looking for a little mental rest. So mindfulness could just be being aware that there's more stuff going on than just you and your dynamics and how you feel about it. And a lot of the times the way you feel about situations only have to do with how you feel about yourself and nobody involved in the situation. It's like awareness. And then meditation, probably in the sense we're talking about, is a state of no mind, of moving towards a state of like open space, nothingness, of feeling everything immersively, but not necessarily having a particular thought about it. Or you could just think about something, and I guess you'd be meditating on it. Does that help? I want to. No thoughts. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Are you ready? It's going to hit hard. All you're not wanting to have thoughts is a thought. So how do you stop doing what is? How do you stop thinking what is? How do you stop doing something when the simple action of stopping is a thing? I'm waiting for one of you guys to come in with something brilliant here. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little cheat code. Just a little one. You have to surrender to the process. The final breath on your deathbed. Okay, fine, I give up. The feeling of it. All the holding on. If you can let go of the feeling of all that worked upness about all those thoughts and stuff, you can get to that same state that you're looking for, to be done with those thoughts. What you want is that relief of all of that. But you keep running away from the pain of your moment by thinking all the thoughts, by your own discomfort in the process. So you get mindful that that discomfort is maybe showing you something within, and then to suppress it or to run away isn't going to help you. And the problem with running away to meditation to get away from the thoughts is everything that you're running away from is at the exact center of meditation. And so that's why you look to, okay, well, then maybe I need mindfulness. Well, what the fuck's mindfulness, Maybe I should meditate. Maybe I should breath work. But until you take it right inside to that painful spot, you're always going to be there running away from yourself. So practice any modality you like, as long as you remember to look for that little spot that sucks. Purpose of meditation. It's nice. There's a lot of other ones too, but that's really just kind of makes everything nice, smooths everything out. It's hard to describe. There's biomechanical things that happen. There's ego death that happens slowly as you face all of these little things inside of you. Oh, there's me thinking that way about myself again. Shit. I'd like slow my brain down to knock out all this other noise, and then all of a sudden there I was running from myself. Oh shit. I gotta deal with this. So you deal with it, And then you find some other way to run. Those are all your thoughts. Those are all the things running around. Those are all those pains in your body that come up. So eventually when you sit for a little while, especially if you do it consistently, you get used to letting all that go and clearing it all out. You get used to sitting with your pain, and then all of a sudden you have all this ability to deal with whatever's coming through, because it's all right there and it's fine and you've already accepted all of it. And so then anything that comes your way is just a part of life. And then all the shit disappears because you're no longer dwelling in it. And meditation has its perks, I guess, Yeah, Amethyst, how you feeling with all that? I hit you pretty hard on that stuff. I love you. Purpose is peaceful and understanding. Should I trip on mushrooms? Have you? I mean, if you want to. I've definitely done mushroom work. I guess just sum it up. I'm afraid to sit with the thoughts because I don't want them to manifest. Oh, okay, fair. Don't worry. All of those feelings, you've already been doing this, so you've already faced your worst fears, okay? All of the feelings that you're lying to yourself, basically. Your ego is lying to you, and everything else. All of the feelings that you're generating, the anxiousness in your body, the actual somatic sensations that if you tap in on your body and you think about whatever it is that's hurting and you feel it in your body, that's the memory mind-body connection. All of those feelings are constantly manifesting that in your field subconsciously. You just thought that maybe because you're working in that 10% or less alpha waves of ego that you knew what was up, but you were still manifesting all that bullshit. So go into that bullshit with your understanding, with your mind open, your alpha waves, facing the pain of it. And when you're in that painful event, you're able to go back into the old memories and look at it through the lens of your current understanding at the place in your journey you are now, to observe and to analyze the past event and to say, oh, okay, I see you're just a kid and I love you and you're okay, and give yourself a hug and stuff, and clear all that old memory out through the pain portal. And then once you're in that pain, your body actually has a injection of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, but it opens up neuroplasticity and allows for a new learning event. It undoes the neurological bonding of the association of the old event, and you're able to move into a new way of being by going through the portal of pain. I don't believe on that shit about you're going to manifest it in your field if you think about it. That's the happiness and light, like bullshit. Spirituality that's going to hurt you. It's like the opposite end of the spectrum from Christianity of you're intrinsically wicked to start, and then maybe if you feel the Holy Spirit tingle you hard enough, you'll know. They're both not so healthy. But to acknowledge that all is, on all the good and all the bad, and all ends of the spectrum. Just gotta sit with it, learn to deal with this shit. Oh, do you feel ascended today, Corey? Yeah? Staying in that neuroplasticity is the real tricky part. Yeah. Just gotta learn the new thing while you're in the pain. Corey ascended, you guys. Corey was here last night. Yeah, just go in there. Don't be so scared. Just be ready for pain, you know? You know how to do hard things. It's not like it's something other than what you experience in life anyway. It's just a different sensation, which might feel a little extreme, especially when you're digging in dull shit, you know? You can buy me a coffee. It's on my little website thing in the profile. You can send a little tip my way. Sometimes somebody sent $40 today. I saw it came in and I was like, made me feel good. So you can do that if it's helpful and you enjoy it. Also, if any of you are interested, I work with, that was basically free session work, but work with clients and do session work where we sit down and we help to unpack these old things and get in there and all the scary stuff, and I help you just walk right through it. It's all good, you know. You see this? Corey was here last night on a live where we ascend. I did a spell before I got my Lemurian quartz out. Might tell the story about that again later. That one wasn't in my butt. It's very jagged. Anyway, Corey was here for the spell. And he's ascended, because that's what we did. We did an ascension spell. I've never actually done an ascension spell, but I did it. I thought it was pretty good, right, Corey? Like, it felt good. I felt good about it. Okay. I'm just sending this podcast episode. Make sure the outro is good.
This is a thing. The intelligence of the body. Thanks for listening, and thanks for you on TikTok hanging out for this whole episode. Enjoyed you guys being here. Thanks for the good questions.
Okay. All right. We're just going to send this. Just send it to disk. Send it. Export song to the disk. Is that where I saved these files? I honestly thought I was more of a professional than this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No. Oh yeah, I definitely am. I am that professional. Definitely am. No, we're good. We're good, everybody. All of you calm down out there. You guys are freaking out, aren't you? I knew it. What are you talking about? You were here for the spell? Yeah. It was a great time. Corey, you're shouting, dude. God, calm the fuck down, man. Corey, you're still shouting. Look at you. The exact thing I needed to make the move. Yeah. Yeah. Look at it. Corey ascended last night. That's what I was saying. Don't miss the lives. Because it's really the juice, you know? It's really like... It's where the magic happens. Truly actual magic. Like... You haven't seen magic like that before. And see, it works. Dude, Corey, if you see this, Corey yesterday was, despite the fact that he was brilliant about all types of animals, very knowledgeable, and plants. Yesterday, though Corey, in his full brilliance, right? He was a shell of a man, just a shell. And I said to him, I looked him right in his little shell eyes, and I was like, Corey, you come in here. Into the live. It's like an astral projection. I had this all tied up on here, and I astral projected it up into him, you know, and I looked him right in the eye, in the astral plane, and I was like, Corey, you're a shell of a man. You need to come ascend with us. And so he did. And look at him now. He's like, it's heroic. Do you see how loud he types? Corey, stop yelling at us. I swear to God, I will unascend you tonight. I will light a candle that burns backwards. I'll light a black candle that sucks all of your ascension right out. Dude, I still have an old Nokia. Do you want to see an old? Wait, I have the original iPhone too. You guys are gonna have some show and tell right now. But also, if I'm telling the truth, I gotta pee again. So just everybody hold it down. Hold on. Let me just ding the dinger. We found the goods, guys. Sorry for that awkward moment. Everybody cool? Look at this. I can't remember the exact model. It's not the 6190. I thought it was. It was like a weird in-between model. But this is like Snake, the video game. You know what I'm saying? Anybody remember this? I mean, I know this is old as shit for everybody like born in 2000 or whatever you kids do. But this is the stuff memes are made of, right? And I found this in a box when I was moving. This though, Snake, right? Okay, you're on the spectrum. I'm gonna say you're on the spectrum of being old. Corey, I swear to God, I'll call the TikTok shouting police. We're still worked out. It was actually went through a house fire. Everything else was gone. This was still working though. It's still fully charged from 1997. The elderly spectrum. You guys want to see something rad? I mean, rad as fuck. Bam. You know what this is? This is the first iPhone ever. Put a little engraving of my dad and I on there after my dad died. Actually, I got the first call I ever got on this was from my dad. Look at this. Is this a picture of us from the beach? Anyway. the first call I ever got was from my dad on this phone. I remember answering it, and I like couldn't really hear it, and I was like, what the, and it was plastic over I was like, Dad, this thing doesn't work. You know, we were all coming off the Blackberries and stuff. This was new stuff. There was no app store. You guys are going to freak out. You ready? TikTok didn't even exist. Isn't that wild? Not a single TikTok existed. Just for reference. This is a 12 Pro, like the meat, not the huge one, not the big ass one. So this was the original iPhone compared. Hold on, let's do this. This is the tech channel. We were into spirituality, but now we're into tech. See this? Look at this craziness. This is probably like a one bit hard drive, just one. They're not even mega. They're just a single fucking bit. That's what this was. Look at this camera. You could take a picture of a potato with that, and it still would look. Anyway, okay, dude, MySpace? No, actually, MySpace was already gone when the iPhone came out. Okay, you guys feeling old yet? I bet you are. Bunch of oldies. The camera's still great on Corey. I swear to God. Why are you shouting at me? Oh, man. Shut up. You had this one and you lost it first week? I remember this guy, Mike Schneeman, dropped this thing. Fumbled out of his hands right here. That's the Schneeman Special. It was falling on the ground. They didn't even have cases for these things. It was like, be real careful if you want to touch it. And he's like, yeah, I want to see. I was like, poke your eye. What did you do? Fucking idiot. Drops it right on the ground. It's like war stories. If you kids understood what it was when the actual smartphone like that came out, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Why do I have 4 messages that won't show up? Oh my gosh, 19 at the club too. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, AOL. Do you guys remember chat? What was that chat? You'd be on Messenger? It wasn't Messenger. It was, yeah, just AOL. And everybody actually learned how to do a little HTML because of MySpace and Blogger and Blogspot. Yeah. That's where everybody learned how to do a little bit of web magic, right? Is that just me? That was some old shit. Oh, man. I can't keep up with all the web languages anymore. I give up. Nah. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll be illiterate. Okay. Dial-up sounds. Oh, man. Dial-up. I hate it. Yeah. It's funny, my dad was a computer guy, like Mr. Nerd out in the garage, building stuff, like crazy stuff that's in every single hospital all over the world, and just cool stuff. And he had the internet from the get-go, like before it was a thing, because he was just in that nerd realm. But we never really did it as a kid. We were still out playing and stuff. Even though I had it from the beginning. We just didn't, I don't know, we didn't do it. It wasn't until later in life I was like, what's this internet stuff? And if I have 2 of these discs, do I get double the internet? You know, it was a weird time. You remember that? There's America Online discs everywhere. Somebody could build a house with those things. There's so many of them. I'm sure they're all choking a dolphin or something. All right, what are you guys talking about? God, I was gonna actually do this. Fuck me. Is that it? Oh, no. Did I export this? I did. You guys are so distracting. This is the worst experiment I've ever tried. Oh, man. Latif, where's this? Where does this get stored? Where does it get stored? I exported from drop. No, I exported. I airdropped that, didn't I, guys? I did. But where did it go? That's the thing. Ooh. Is this it? Could this be it? Everybody calm down.
Okay, dear driver.
Nope. That was the raw file. See, that's why I wanted you guys to calm down. Maybe I didn't export this. Let's try this again. Oh, I did this. Yeah, I did this. Podcast episodes. It's on the external. Why is this storing on the external drive, guys? For the love of sweet, buttery baby Jesus. Everything's going fine. Calm yourselves. Your eyes bad. Okay. Thank the sweet baby. Is it here? Yeah. Episode 12. It's almost like I found it. I found it. Everything's okay now. All right. Dot matrix. Can I Corey. Wait, you're playing your original Nintendo? Your old phone still works? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dot matrix, yeah. Definitely remember those. That was, some places still use the, like, you go to the, like, lumber places around here, even in San Diego, they got the old dot matrix printer with the tear off side things because it's got their forms on it, and they probably printed, 6 million of these forms originally, and they're like, oh, we still got these boxes of forms to use, so we'll still use this dumbass printer with tiny little parts that probably nobody sells. It's a pain in the ass. They're like, don't touch the printer. It's the only thing that'll print these. Instead of just going to an email system, maybe. They probably take faxes too. You make art with dot matrix art? Corey, why aren't you shouting right now? You had me going there for a minute. I was like, Corey's not going to stop shouting all night. And it's like right when I accepted it, it's like getting out of a bad trip, right? As soon as you just like, okay, I accept this. I accept that Corey's going to shout all fucking night, right? I was like, I accept Corey and all his shoutiness. And now it's just aggravated linguistic pursuits. I fully accept him, just because I love you, And right then, Corey's calm message comes in, just like a soothing, like a gentle breeze, on a little hot day. Not too hot, but like a nice kind of hot. That's nice, but then the gentle breeze comes, and you're like, your eye twitches. Fuck, dude! Stop shouting, Corey! God damn it. Ooh, 4-foot reams of paper. Nice. It's not like a large format. It's just like an old architectural design printer, right? Or is it full like large format? Because those are great, but that's also large format, Honestly, if I had a shop and I had a big ass laser cutter and some large format printers and stuff, I love making big things like that. Always fun. Right, guys? We got 10 people here. Stupidest live ever. Okay, new episode going up. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Gotta log back in. All right, guys, question. Have any of you used Kajabi? Like a beautiful day on the beach. Yeah. Corey, just like that. The soothing thing. God damn Why did I get you started again? You make life-size stencils? So it's just like an old... It's not like a modern large format, right? With some like good resolution. It's just this old as shit large format that you're keeping running because you have to have Windows 7. It's the only drivers for it. Dude, let's burn that thing in the ground. Let's make some stuff. Big stencils. I need some good stencils. Big ones, you know? So I can teach the kids how to properly stencil stuff. I'm into it. You know I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm into it. Let's do it. You know what's a great way to do stencils? Is just get vinyl cut. Like if you need like a really clean, awesome stencil, just have a big vinyl cut, like a vinyl sticker, and then just so clean. Also, another way to do stencils, if you don't want the edge to bleed, if you got like white underneath, spray white in the area first, and then do the stencil over that, and then the edge, instead of bleeding out, it sticks, and then it's this real tight edge. You do the graffitis? Bro, are there any cops in here? Corey, there might be cops, dude. Can you fucking chill? Oh, man. Emails coming in. Yay, dealing with things. Okay, we're good. Okay, thank you so much for the stream. This made me feel comfortable, gave me some new ideas. Good. Really, I was just hanging out here, so people that were not feeling comforted would feel comforted. So, I mean, things are looking up, you know? No, things are not looking up. That's not what I wanted to happen. This is what I wanted to happen. We've been through this exercise. You guys remember this one? The where is my file exercise? We're good. Nope, we're not. Now we are. 12. Yes. Yes, things are looking up. Yes. Yes. Okay, what do we title this? Taking suggestions. You gotta go to sleep? What the heck? Man. Okay, fine. We're going to let you just this once. Let me just go steal all this information. Oh, man, I'm really not great at coming up with like podcast titles and things, the content for them. It's like, here's a podcast episode. What's the title? Something dumb. Do you ever have that problem when you're doing your podcast titles? Okay, what is the title of this one? Oh, yeah. That's what I was doing. Oh, shit in a bucket. That's how we do this. So 12, like that. That's good. What should I say about this episode, guys? Dude, hot trauma. I had to postpone hot trauma. It was hot trauma. So we're going to do hot trauma in another moment. It's coming up. I gave myself 1,000 things too many to do. And I overextended myself. And so now we're here. What's about to happen? What? About hot trauma? Or what? What? That was your email that just came in. I just saw that. We're going to... As soon as we're finished here, I'm going to finish that, okay? Yeah, we had a... it was moving along, and then it did not materialize as quickly as I wanted to, a couple elements. And I was like, I'm going to push this back because I want to make it even better. So we pushed it back a little bit, but then that one came in right in the last changeover thing, I think, is what happened. I'm still figuring out all of my systems, everyone. I've changed everything around to try to accommodate everyone around the world, and I'm not yet dialed in all of the details. Yep. Yeah, where's Spaceman? He was going to help me with some stuff. He's a smart man that talks to computers, I think possibly even in his sleep. What am I going to title this podcast? I know I titled it already. What did I talk about in this podcast? Man, I hate this part. Yep, that's gonna have to be good enough, because that's all I'm gonna write. Oh, that would be cool if I had stored my other things in the same folder, but I didn't. Think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. Everything's good, guys. Okay. Yeah. Is this good? It's funny. Making the videos takes less time than doing podcasts. The little system I have for it, just bang it out. Just say something. 1 meg for each file. I have to make this smaller. I swear I already uploaded this image, you guys. Why do they gotta be like this? But now it's uploading. How's that supposed to work? I don't know. It works, though. Okay, the intelligence of the... That's probably spelled well enough. Yeah, this is how the magic happens. I'm publishing this. I don't even care. So there you go. Have a podcast. Buckle up, kids. It's live. Hope it's okay. Just Job's not here. Wanted to I love your energy and wanted to say I love. I'm gonna say that you said you wanted to say that, and I appreciate you for appreciating me. It warms me right in this spot. Who missed a lot? What? Is there where the magic happens? Man, that's a really good question. Is there a where the magic happens, or is it just the magic happening? Because I guess that just depends on your point of perception, right? God, I'm feeling nervous that I screwed this episode up or something, and then everyone's gonna go listen to it. It's gonna suck. I'm just gonna double check this. All right.
So today on the episode, we're going to talk
Daniel.
about kind of feelings and the intelligence of the body.
All right, that's good enough. You can listen to it. Yes, this is the magic. Okay. With the K, Corey, you're getting a little creepy on us, huh? I'm going to get my wand out. I got a little wand. It's a chakra wand. I got it for my birthday a couple years ago. What's up? I'll be your dad. Your dad. That's your other dad. I was talking to my Sarah about it. I was like, there was never any point of me wanting to be known as, I'll be your not dead dad. What's up? What's up, Ellie of Earth? Are we friends? We are now. Sucker. Ha. Yeah, we can totally vibe, Ellie. It's all good. Anyway, I was just talking to my dear Sarah, and I was like, I don't really want to be like I don't want any association or anything like that. And then, but some people like really need a dad figure, you know? Like Ellie's got her dad die. I get that. My dad died. It sucks, you know? So it's like cool if she's got like an internet dad figure to just like have that fun with, like great, you know? Or if somebody needs some other archetype for me to be that, I'm like, that's cool too. I'll do that, I guess. So if any of you guys need like a dad figure, I'll do the internet dad thing for you. You can even jump on, you can come do a live when Nelly and Aiden are here and we'll all just vibe out and it'll be fun. It'll be great. Okay, this podcast episode has gone, it's gone into the podosphere. That's a thing, in case you're wondering. Spotify propagates it pretty fast. My computer search function is not propagating fast, but that's the price you gotta pay, you know. Life is a thing. Bam. Oh, it's not up there on Spotify yet, but it will be shortly. Okay, my dad was at home. Aw. Oh, yay. I'm totally into it. I'm sorry to hear that your dad died, especially if he's like your homie, you know. That's like tough. I get that. Like, my dad died. They all do it. Sneaky bastards, you know? You're like just thinking like, oh, my dad's always going to be alive. You're just living your life, you know? It'll get you every time. So you got to like, those moments you got, you know? You got to really... You got to give it some oomph. Make them count. Yeah. Dead don't mean gone. Now, one of the things that I've found out in my own like healing journey and my own like just getting better inside of myself was in that space where I felt that like missing my dad. I realized, especially with my dad, like he's genetically similar to me. You know, he passed down his genetics, like actually the actual energies of who he was and his ways of being. And I realized like, oh, all of my thoughts of my dad are this was actually on this podcast episode. I talked about this at the end. All of my thoughts of my dad are simply just thoughts that I'm having that create sensations. And I was able to sort of integrate this feeling of dad within me to be like, to replace that loneliness of like, oh yeah, like I know exactly like what my dad taught me just by the way he was as a person, what he said, what I saw him doing. And it's this really nice way to like integrate that like sad feeling into a feeling of there-ness with dad, I guess. You know, but you always got the sad feelings too, especially when it's real fresh, but you can totally do stuff like that and kind of replace those feeling sets in your own body, and it's like it's nice. Highly recommended. 10 out of 10. Oh, for sure. Look, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't get away from the whole fact that like you are your parents, you know. That's like tap in. It's all good. Yes, Corey. You're so screamy tonight. It's not even tonight yet. I was going to do a live later, but now I've just been sitting here on live like an idiot. How about this? It's Wednesday, right? I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Wednesday check. This is my last night to do Mega Live, and then I have my kids. They don't like doing the Mega Lives. Nellie's good for like an hour, and then she's like out. I'll jump on here tonight, and we'll play some guitar and things like that. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Okay, thank you. I'll leave my surrogate daughter, my internet daughter? My internet kid? Do I have to get you shit for your birthday and stuff? Oh, speaking of, let's talk. This is serious. I was rubbing this Lemurian crystal and it downloaded some information for me. Yes, Corey, thank you for finally not shouting. March 4th is my birthday. It's coming up real soon. It's a Friday. And I'm like, we should just invite all of the TikTok to like a bonfire and then anybody that's close by can come vibe out. Now, that sounds like fun, if you ask me. It sounds like a good night. Yeah. Pisces gang. Yeah. I'm tempted to bring everybody over here, but that's, it's like coming to my home, all you random people from the internet. I mean, I'm into it. I don't have a key for the place. Nothing locks. It's just here. My key for my car is always in the ignition. Just living. So maybe I should probably just okay, let's do it. Everybody can come over. You can spend the night in my front yard. There's chickens and stuff. It'll be great. It'll be super fun. I only have one bathroom. It's small. If you clog that toilet, it's not going to be good because it's kind of old plumbing. So you got to be chill with the toilet. That's all I ask. But, if something big comes through, we'll handle it. Maybe not directly, but with gloves. Yeah. Yeah, there's chickens that wander in my front yard. Yeah, you're bringing the yurt, Corey. It's going to be so sweet. Oh, you're a maintenance engineer? But not a technician, Corey. Are you just engineering some bullshit for poor technicians to have to install? Or is this real deal, like boots on the ground kind of stuff? Because this is like light blue collar. This isn't blue collar, this isn't white collar. This is like light blue collar stuff. I need to know. I'm in California, yeah. Encinitas. You should know where your fucking dad lives, Ellie. Like obvs. It's embarrassing. Professional engineer. I love all the engineer business. My dad in Long Beach. You can totally come for my birthday party. Corey's shouting. He's getting me really worked up. I was a maintenance engineer at a historic hotel. Oh, that's awesome. I did some. It was long ago. It was like 98 or something. Like, it was a while back. But I worked some temp work for a construction company for a while, and I worked on the Hotel Del, and we had to demo it's like a bunch of wings, but we had to save all the wood and stuff, and we were pulling out all these old vintage like square nails and things. It was super cool. Like, we had to be real careful with everything, but that old craftsmanship stuff is really cool. Okay, Ellie, you're definitely coming to the party. It's gonna be sweet. Okay, yeah. Well, we really I'm great at having an idea, guys, but like actually making this party happen seems a little overwhelming. But I'll show up with like a cooler and some wood if you guys want to bring drinks to share. Some kombuchas, hippie drinks, juiced greens, maybe lemon water. Some beer too. Bring some beer. Just careful because we're on the beach. There's no cops in here, are there? I don't know what the Chancellor Hotel is. Camping trip in mountains. Oh, that would be sweet. I'm gonna do a retreat. It's gonna be called Radfest. Here's the thing about Encinitas, though. You guys should come to Encinitas because it's so nice. It's like you're surrounded by niceness, and then it's also nice, and then there's a bunch of nice people. And if you know the cool places to go, there's nice places to go. So I was just thinking of doing an event called Radfest here in Encinitas. And it's like a yoga healing retreat, except for it's actually going to be awesome. Well, like blast some trauma open, heal some shit. Everybody can have a good cry and a raging dance party. I got my friend DJ Layla already ready. And the Gunger said they'll come to Kirtan. It's going to be awesome. Dad Fest. Your favorite internet dad figure is going to have Dad Fest. Honestly, this is why you're my kid, Ellie. I'm so proud of you. And everything you bring to this family. God, it's such a great one. I do these adventures on Saturday with the kids. Oh, okay, cool. We're into this. Rad Dad Fest. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I always called them Dadder Days when I do adventures with the kids. And then I tried to reserve that domain, but it was taken by some total hack. Dadder Days. Total hack. All right, what Dad Fest would love to do that. Oh, man. One of the things I do want to do is an actual, like, men's retreat thing, but I hate the fucking men's retreat, and it's so dumb. Anyway, we're going to do a good one, but it's going to be about teaching men that it's totally cool and safe to be, like, in contact with their emotions and to feel things, and teach them how to feel things safe, and then also teach their kids at the same time. Like a parent retreat thing, I think would be incredible, right? Like, you want, like, let's heal generations of trauma all in one fell swoop. That'd be great. A humans retreat, we can do that. That's called Rad Fest, because you humans are rad. And obviously, do you guys skate? Can you bring skateboards? Maybe wrist guards if you're not used to it. Or roller skates, or e-bikes are great too. And we'll definitely go for a ride. Yeah, okay, you send the husband. Yeah, do that. You got the longboard. Okay, we got the longboard. Funky Fresh. Does your husband skate? Because this could be a thing. Okay, your quads. Okay, we're in. See, think about this. This is what Radfest is going to look like. I'm going to give you guys a little preview. What I believe should be taught in school is cool human relationships. Yeah. Right. You'd think they'd teach something like that in schools, but no. Just picture this, right? Radfest. It looks like this. Oh, short and long board. Excellent. Cool it down. It looks like this, right? You arrive, and there's hugging. A lot of hugging. And everyone's handed a Lumerian quartz crystal that they left to themselves in a past life. And they rub it and download the information. We all go skate, eat some real good food, have some really awesome, like, Ayurvedic chef friends. We get some really tasty, delicious stuff in there. It would be real good for us. Maybe we could definitely do it at Richard's house. He's got enough room for like 20 people on the deck there, like overlooking the ocean. Some nice, like, yoga sesh. We'll do some real hippie shit too. We'll do like some sound bowls and howl at the moon and stuff. Okay, we got some roller derby. We're definitely gonna take a couple rides out on Neptune. That's the place to do it. Whoa, we got positions in derby. You guys are getting serious. I also want to take everybody to for Radfest to Breathe Degrees in Carlsbad, which is not far, but it's a breathwork and cold plunge studio. So you get to do a breathwork class with like 20 people, and then everybody jumps in the cold plunge at like 40 degrees and together magically, and it's so cool. Yeah. Anyone can be a rad dad. I have a backyard 1 block from the beach. I'm so down for what? I'm into it. Okay, that's the thing. I just got to figure out how to not jump on live and interrupt my workflow. Sea Ranch Chapel. Where's the Sea Ranch Chapel? Let me crack open my Nokia 6190 and look this one up real quick. I'm going to use the computer. Sea Ranch Chapel. What was it? A non-denominational... Well, what's this little spooky village? I mean, this looks rad, but I feel like I get kicked out quick. Sacred events. We could do a sacred event here. This is definitely cool. This is highly cool. Where did you find this? Funky Fresh, how do you know about this? You were there Monday? Did you have a sacred event here? This looks fantastic. These are some really nice hippies that run this. I guarantee it. They're super gentle. Man, that looks cool. Whoever built that was definitely on mushrooms, and it looks amazing. Where is this Sea Ranch Chapel? Is it actually in the sea? Is there a ranch? Are there seahorses? Can you ride the seahorses? From Jenner. Sonoma County. Okay. Mile marker 49.9. That seems oddly exacting. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. The face says no? Which face? Yeah, a lot of old hippies. Like, they're really nice, though. I guarantee. Like, they're all really tender people. You would jam... Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourself. Male seahorses give birth. Corey, I knew you were a zoologist. And I knew you were a treeologist. I didn't know you were also a seahorseologist. You're every day... As I fall farther from the Lord, I feel like I become closer to you, Corey. Even though you were shouting so much, I was like, Corey, dude, I'm about to banhammer you. Lawless City. Oh, there's Slab City. That place is sick. I took my kids there. We went to the library, and they're like, "There's a kids." It's like two 20-year-old wooks, and she was loading a bong up, you know. Like cruising in there with the kids, you know. It's just like, she's like, we just cleaned out the kids section from spiders, and I was like, this place is great. It's right by Salvation Mountain, and it's so cool. It's so cool. It's like this magical city that they built out of trash and bums. And then some people took art projects out there, but mostly it's just trash and dangerous things. So it looks cool as shit. You can paint on things, and there's no law. But there's actually like gridded out like streets, and there's different like addresses within it. But it's not recognized. It's like out in the preserve thing, and it's not recognized as any part of the city. And so it's like its own weird little city. There's documentaries, I think, on Vice about it. But you can get out there for like New Year's parties and stuff, and have a party, and maybe get like stabbed a little bit. It's cool. Yeah, Burning Man's like that, but like a version that's a little more sterile. Like this one has a lot of rusty edges, you know, you want to be careful in Slab City. But it's right next to Salvation Mountain, which is this really cool mountain about salvation. It's all painted, the whole thing. It's like Dr. Seuss and Jesus, like, had a bunch of freaky sex, and Salvation Mountain was like, wah. Like that's what it's like. It's cool. Yeah, you can get stabbed at Slab City. It's stabby. I mean, it seems like it. If you look at the place, like you actually drive around in there, you're like, this is Stab City. If this was nighttime, you just gotta mind the metaphor, mind the pun. That's my rule. You know, always mind the pun. Okay, yeah, you'll be all up in your tetanus in that Slab City. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go maybe make some food and make sure all this podcast tomfoolery went okay, and definitely go see the sunset, because that's a really important part of the day. Got to make sure that happens. But I'm going to come on for a mega live tonight. It's going to be sick. Think of something fun to talk about, okay? Well, now you're here. Now you're here, Snail King God. Come back later. We're going to do a live later. Just give me like a couple hours to do something other than this. Yeah, dude, we were all like, what the fuck, Snail King God? Everyone was pissed. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. Okay, I'll see you guys later.